Have you ever been told you just have to try it for yourself? That's exactly the spirit behind Psalm 34:8. David says, "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good." But what does it mean to taste and see? Imagine you're at a dinner party and everyone's raving about a dish you've never tried. You can listen, watch, even read reviews, but until you actually take a bite, you'll never know what you're missing. In spiritual terms, taste and see is David's way of inviting us to move from head knowledge to heart experience. Now you might be thinking, isn't faith just about believing? But David is pushing us further. He's saying, don't settle for stories, reach out, engage. Encounter the goodness of God personally. It's a shift from observation to participation. When we talk about experiential faith, we're talking about something like a spiritual feedback loop. Just as feedback in a sound system shapes what you hear, our actions, our willingness to taste shape what we truly know about God. So here's my challenge. Are you content with secondhand faith, or are you hungry for a first-hand encounter? Because David's invitation is open to all of us, no prerequisites, just a willingness to taste and see. Let me tell you a story. David penned this psalm after a harrowing escape-pretending madness before a foreign king to save his life. Talk about desperation. In 1 Samuel 21, David's got nothing but his wits and his faith. You see, trauma often acts like an accelerant. It exposes the foundation we're standing on. For David, every ounce of stability was stripped away. Yet, in that chaos, he discovered something unshakable. God's goodness wasn't just a theory. It was a lifeline. Now, here's the conflict. How do you trust when you're cornered, when your plans unravel? Most of us resort to what psychologists call fight or flight. But David models a third way: take refuge. Refuge is a technical term in ancient Israel, like a city of asylum, a place you run when everything else fails. For David, God became that safe place. The resolution? Out of desperation, he didn't run away from God, he ran to him. So next time panic hits, ask yourself, am I running away, or am I running to the only true refuge? David's story proves when you take shelter in God, you find security even in the storm. What does it really mean to be blessed? In our world, it's often about luck or luxury, winning the lottery, getting a dream job. But David flips the script. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in him. Let's unpack that. The Hebrew word for blessed carries the weight of deep contentment. Think of it as resilient joy. It's not fleeting pleasure, it's a state of well-being that the world can't touch. Now, you might ask, does trusting God guarantee an easy life? Absolutely not. But it does guarantee that, in any circumstance, you're anchored. Like a firewall in a computer network, taking refuge in God shields us from the viruses of fear and despair. The conflict is real. Our culture chases happiness in all the wrong places. But David says, real blessing is found not in having no troubles, but in knowing where to run when they come. So, if you're seeking that unshakable joy, let David's words redirect you. Lasting blessedness isn't circumstantial, it's relational. It's rooted in trust, not in trophies. So, how do we move from inspiration to transformation? Psalm 34:8 isn't just poetry, it's a practical roadmap. Here's how you can live it out today. First, get personal. Instead of watching from the sidelines, step onto the field. Try a 5-minute daily reflection. Where have you tasted God's goodness this week? Write it down, make it tangible. Second, when anxiety looms, consciously choose refuge. Picture it like activating 2-factor authentication for your soul. Don't just acknowledge God's promises, lean into them. Pray, journal, or talk it out with a trusted friend. Now, you might be saying, what if I don't feel anything? That's okay. Growth is rarely instant. Think of it as building spiritual muscle memory, small step compounds over time. So, will you take David's invitation seriously? Don't just hear about God's goodness, experience it. Trust Him, take refuge, and discover the blessedness David sang about. The invitation is open. What's your next step?